The Roman war machine had never lost momentum. Province after province fell, enemies surrendering or vanishing into the shadows. But in the untamed forests of Gaul, something unthinkable happened. One man, unknown and underestimated, a warlord born of a cursed legacy, did what no one thought possible. He made Caesar blade, he made Rome doubt, and then he vanished into the pages of a story few in a time when the Roman Republic was a beast with insatiable hunger. Its gaze locked on Gaul, an expansive land, not just a single kingdom, but a patchwork of fierce tribes. Picture modern-day France, Belgium, parts of Switzerland, even Germany. A wild place of thick forests and winding rivers, where gods loomed large in the hearts of its people, gods the Romans could hardly comprehend. To Rome, Gaul was merely a collection of barbarians. To the Gauls, Rome was an invasive force, arrogant and relentless. Yet, while the warriors of Gaul were undeniably brave, they were fatally divided, more prone to clash with one another than to unite. And it was here that Julius Caesar saw his opening. Not merely a general, Caesar was a predator, ambitious, calculating, desperate. By 58 BCE, he unleashed his legions across Gaul, his stated goal, pacification. But pacification was a heavy word, for Caesar's campaign was not about peace, it was about absolute dominance. At first it worked with terrifying efficiency. Tribe after tribe shattered, some surrendered, others simply annihilated. In a few brutal years, Caesar carved a blood-soaked trail across Gaul, claiming victory after victory. The Roman eagle soared without challenge. Yet history was not done with Gaul. Far from the legion's march in the highlands of central Gaul, a noble named Vercingetorix observed the carnage. Born into the Averni elite around 82 BCE, war coursed through his veins. His father had dreamt of a united Gaul, and for that ambition he had been executed. That legacy hung over Vercingetorix. When he dared to speak of resisting Rome, even his own tribe cast him out. But exile did not break him, it forged him. Upon his return, he emerged not as a mere warrior, but as a unifier. One by one, the fractured tribes began to listen. This young chief sought not merely to fight Caesar. In 52 BCE, the fire was ignited. The Roman eagle had flown unchallenged for years, but now in the thick forests and fog-draped valleys, a new defiant banner rose. The war to stop Caesar had begun. Vercingetorix sent word across Gaul, Rome must be resisted. Defying centuries of blood, dozens of tribes rallied not for strength, but because Vercingetorix offered something Gaul had never possessed: unity. Suddenly, Caesar faced not scattered resistance, but a coordinated uprising. He wasn't just leading a rebellion. He was orchestrating a meticulously planned campaign. His strategy: if Rome lived off the land, then Gaul would burn it to ash. Grain stores were destroyed, bridges cut to splinters. Towns were abandoned and torched, leaving only smoke and ruin. Even his allies protested against burning their own homeland, but Vercingetorix understood a crucial truth. To fight Rome, you had to leave it, and it worked. Caesar's legions, accustomed to swift movement and living off captured supplies, began to falter. Supply lines thinned, food ran low, and morale dipped. The Roman machine, once unstoppable, was now breaking down, choked by us. Then came Gergovia, a city perched high on a plateau, defensible by design. Vercingetorix chose it as his stronghold. Desperate to crush the rebellion, Caesar made a rare and catastrophic mistake. He attacked uphill without proper support, walking into a cunning trap. The invincible Roman legions were forced into a chaotic retreat. For the first time, Caesar looked vulnerable, and Gaul, watching from the forests, saw a flicker of hope. But victory breeds risk, and Vercingetorix knew hope could lead to overreach. He retreated to regroup, choosing another fortress, strategically defensible. Meanwhile, Caesar shadowed. It was never supposed to end like this. After Gergovia, the tides shifted. Rome regrouped with cold fury, and the rebellion spread. Vercingetorix risked losing vital control. He made a monumental choice. Pull back, fortify, and he chose Alesia, a colossal hilltop stronghold ringed by rivers, cliffs, and plains, an impenetrable fortress. One way in, no easy exit. From the top, the Gauls could see for miles, but Caesar did something unexpected. He built a wall, then another, to trap the enemy in. An inner ring of iron encircled Alesia, and another faced outward to keep reinforcements out. 10 miles around Alesia, a nightmare of trenches and wooden watchtowers. Outside, a massive relief army, possibly 250,000 warriors, raced to break the sea. In between, Caesar's 50,000 hardened men faced impossible odds. It was no longer a siege, it was a ticking countdown. The relief army struck like a hurricane, waves hammering the outer Roman wall. Inside Alesia, Vercingetorix launched desperate sorties. Arrows rained like hail, towers burned, painting. At a critical point, the outer wall nearly broke, the relief horde surging through. Caesar, in full armor, rushed to the breach, fighting alongside his beleaguered men. Roman discipline, forged in countless wars, hung by a thread. Then silence fell. The relief army, inside Alesia, Vercingetorix understood the weight of that silence. No one was coming. He gathered his armor, polished his weapons, and in a gut-wrenching moment of ancient warfare, he rode out of Alesia. He surrendered, dismounting and laying his weapons at Caesar's feet, without a word, The rebellion was over. Gaul was Rome's. Rome celebrated a triumph, a celebration reserved for its greatest conquerors. Behind the golden chariot of Julius Caesar, Vercingetorix walked in chains, head bowed, surrounded by guards. The people roared for Caesar, yet many in the crowd watched the defeated king in solemn silence. In the final chilling moment of Caesar's triumph, Vercingetorix was led away to the Tullianum, Rome's most feared prison. In the crushing darkness, he was brutally strangled. No audience, no funeral, just a swift end to the man who nearly turned the tide against Rome. Yet despite the brutality, Caesar never spoke. In Commentary Debalog, Caesar paints a complex portrait of Vercingetorix. He does not dismiss him as mere savage. Rather, he acknowledges him as a strategist, a unifier, a worthy foe. Even in death, Vercingetorix earns what few enemies of Rome ever received: respect. Through his struggle, he transcends the role of a defeated rebel, evolving into a potent symbol of resistance. The war ends, yet the story persists. What unfolded between Julius Caesar and Vercingetorix not only determined Gaul's fate, but also reshaped the end. In life, Vercingetorix may have fallen in that brutal battle, but in death, he transforms into a mythic figure. Centuries later, in France, as the remnants of Rome turn to dust, he resurrects as a national hero. During the 19th century, as the French sought to reclaim their identity, Vercingetorix emerges as a foundational symbol. He becomes the first man to unify France, battling for her independence, defiantly standing against an overwhelming empire. Even Napoleon, centuries later, orders a statue to be erected at Elyse Santra, believed to be the very site of Alesia. The inscription reads, "Gaul united, forming a single nation, animated by the same spirit, can defy the universe." The man who Caesar returns from Gaul, basking in unmatched glory, immense wealth, and unprecedented power. Yet such victory breeds ambition, and ambition attracts ruthless enemies within the viper's nest of Roman politics. Within a decade, the very senators he sought to empower brutally stab him to death, fearing the unchecked power he has gained. Ironically, the republic he fought to strengthen collapses into an empire, a transformation ignited by his conquest of Gaul. Though he built the foundation for Rome's golden age, he also lit the fuse. Vercingetorix and Caesar embody two sides of the same coin. One strives to unite a fractured land under a banner of resistance, the other relentlessly expands an ambitious empire. Their rivalry, though fleeting, reaches its climax in the dust of Alesia. Yet their legacies intertwine, massive and enduring. They were never equals on the battlefield, but in the grand tapestry of human memory, they are forever linked by their conflict, each defining the other. In the epic clash of Rome and Gaul, conquest might have triumphed that day, but the spirit of resistance would never be forgotten. This tale reveals the profound interconnectedness of history, a story that still matters today. The rivalry between these two great figures captivates the imagination. Their legacies continue to resonate, echoing through the ages, reminding us of the struggle